Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be doing you versus them. So, what this reading is intended to provide to you is some insight and clarity into your connection with your person. So, we're going to be looking at a comparison of your energy versus your person's energy. We're going to be looking at the dynamics going on in between you. I'm also going to be looking to see where this connection is headed coming into the near future and a little bit of guidance and advice for you. So, this reading is great for any of you guys out there that are just wanting a little bit of deeper insight and clarity into the dynamics at play in this connection. And for any of you that are wanting to not only understand your person a little bit better, but to maybe also understand yourself a little bit better and how you may be contributing to these overall dynamics at play. So, let's get into some disclaimers. Please keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading, so some messages will resonate specifically to you while other messages may not. If it's feeling confusing or something just feels like it's not really fitting with your circumstances, just release it and let it go. It's likely not a message for you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly, and definitely don't allow it to get you upset if something isn't specifically resonating with your situation. If you did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can do that will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific read on your own energy, and you can partner with any tarot reader that you want for that. But if you did want to book one with me, all the details are included in the description box. So let's go ahead and get into our deck selection. We are doing 3 groups today for this reading. So for pile number 1, we're working with the Wild Unknown Tarot and some Rose Quartz. For pile 2, we're working with the Wheel of the Year Tarot and some Green Moonstone. And for pile 3, we're working with the Rider-Waite Smith and some Amazonite. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your person and the dynamics between the both of you at this time, where the connection's headed. Go ahead and select the deck or the crystal you're feeling the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made that choice, you can scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected pile. See you there? Hey, pile 1, if you guys picked out this Rose Quartz with the Wild Unknown Tarot, this is going to be your reading. We're looking into the dynamics at play between you and your person. So I did do a few pre-shuffled oracle cards off camera. We're going to take a look at these in just a moment. But we're actually going to start off with some other decks here, including your tarot, just to kind of get a sense of the energies that are at play. Most of the shuffling of all the decks is going to be on camera today, you guys, so I know some of you guys really enjoy that. But for any of you guys that get annoyed with the shuffling, you can always feel free to fast forward. So let's go ahead and start for pile 1. We're working with the Color Mage Oracle. I want to just take a look at kind of the overall energies here within this connection. So we're starting off with the joining energy, and then I want to take a look at the energy of your person versus you, where you each kind of stand energetically with this connection. So we have the joining energy, Pale Lime, which is saying gentle healing. Let's get your person's energy on the left. Where does their person currently stand in this connection? We have Sekhmet, Warrior Spirit. And where does my viewer currently stand in this connection at this time? As I'm shuffling, I'm getting a really uncomfortable feeling in the pit of my stomach. So maybe somebody here is feeling a little bit insecure about this connection or a little bit anxious. We have Heather, Solitude and Diligence coming up. Okay, so we're going to start here and with some tarot cards in a moment, but I want to begin here with the Color Mage. So I feel like both of you guys, and also before we get too deep into this, keep in mind, guys, that sometimes when I do these readings where we're looking at 2 people, the energies may be flipped from how I'm describing it. So I'm intending for this side to reflect your person and this to be you, my viewer. But you may find as I'm getting into the energies that it resonates for you in the opposite direction, which is totally fine. It's a general reading. So I definitely feel like both of you in this connection are really seeking to feel a little bit more secure and a little bit more comfortable. But I definitely feel like your person is in maybe a little bit more of a defensive energy right now. It's interesting that like both of you guys are showing up with these more kind of grounded, earthy colors. And the energy between the both of you is this green color, which is talking about healing, right? Specifically, what I'm feeling is that there is a healing of the heart space that's going on within the both of you. But I feel like both people, especially your person, is struggling with being vulnerable or struggling with like really opening up on a deep emotional level right now. And maybe there's something about this connection that's helping to trigger this healing for both of you or this heart awakening for both of you. But there's definitely something going on here where both people are needing to kind of, as the card says, gently heal. So for some of you guys with gentle healing, it may not be that deep, whatever is going on in this connection. It could just be that there's like a little trigger that's happening between the both of you. It could be that both of you guys are healing from old connections through each other. There's a lot of scenarios. We're going to get a lot more information here, but healing is definitely being highlighted. And there's something about the both of you within this connection where like you're prompting the other to really awaken at the heart space and to reflect and heal old wounds, old heartbreaks, or maybe heartbreak from within each other. I see my viewer with Heather really being grounded in a grounded place here, solitude and diligence. So there's definitely this energy from your perspective of kind of like a wise detachment or an understanding of just needing to kind of spend time with self. I definitely feel that you all are wanting to be in a place of peace, not only as it pertains to this connection, but just connections in general. And I do feel that there is a very intentional focus on self with this solitude and diligence, like a diligence around striving for solitude, striving for healing, and a diligence to make sure that you're aligning with the right type of partner for you, right? Even if it doesn't end up being this person. Your person over here with the warrior spirit is definitely in like fighting mode a little bit. And when I was kind of picking up on that discomfort in the pit of my stomach, I do kind of feel it's more of your person that I'm picking up on. But I see that they're in a little bit of a fighting energy or a defensive energy. This person may be somebody who has their guard up a little bit as it pertains to this connection, or just love in general. There's something that they feel like they need to either defend themselves from or fight for. So let's move into the tarot and just get a little bit more information. This person like may be very athletic as well. This could be the type of person that's very active, really into like physical appearances or physical fitness. They may go to the gym a lot. I'm seeing a vision of that in my head for some of you guys. So I want to take a look here at the clarifying energy of this connection. So clarifying the pale line. What's the joining energy of this connection for pile one and their person? Two of Wands. Okay. Let's get the clarifying energy for their person with this warrior spirit, please. This person may also be very physically attracted to you. I do think this person also feels that they have fun with you. Okay, we have a Six of Cups reverse. Interesting. And then clarifying the energy of Heather for my viewer. Where does my viewer currently stand with this connection? We have the Son of Pentacles. Yeah. You guys, I feel, are definitely in a place where you're in a much more kind of grounded, practical headspace around this situation. You know, this could be a connection at work for some of you guys. Maybe this is a connection that's with a coworker, or it may not necessarily be romantic in nature for all of you, but there's definitely an energy of practicality coming through here. And we do have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom, which can sometimes talk about colleagues and coworkers. It doesn't have to be, though. This is really the energy of teamwork and collaboration. And I feel like you, my viewer, are seeking a connection that feels more collaborative, right? Like I feel this energy, this really strong energy of wanting something very sustainable, something that's really going to last a lifetime. And I'm wondering if there's been some challenges with this person, with the mountain being here. I also feel that this is just symbolic of like you wanting a connection with someone that's going to like stand the test of time, that you can really tackle obstacles together as a unit versus you being the only one to kind of carry that. I do feel like you, my viewer, are in a position right now where you're kind of looking at this situation and there's this energy of taking things really slow. Like you are showing up here in a very grounded, practical state of mind from what I'm seeing so far. There is an energy of desiring progress, but wanting to really ensure that any progress is done carefully, practically, and that it's progress that's actually going to result in tangible results over time. You know what I mean? I definitely think that both of you guys are in a place right now with this Two of Wands where there is this desire to come together. There is this desire to expand. This almost looks like two magic wands to me coming together to create some sort of magic, right? And there is this vibe that I pick up on that you and this person may have a lot of fun together, but there is this sort of indecision, I feel, about what direction that we're wanting to go. And I do feel like this is coming from both of you. I feel like you guys are indecisive in a good way because it's like you want to make sure it's the right fit before you're going to continue to pour your efforts and energy into something. And your person is indecisive, I think, because of some triggers that they're working through or some sort of inner healing that they're needing to really focus on. It's really interesting with the Six of Cups reverse how the roots of this tree are exposed. And so again, this is giving me this vibe that your person, it's like something about your energy, something about the energy of this connection is exposing for this person something very emotionally rooted to them, because this card talks about childhood, right? This card talks about the past. And so there's some sort of deep-seated, rooted, heart-related stuff that's being triggered by this person through this connection that they're being kind of forced to examine and explore here. And I do feel like this person is wanting to make sure that before they jump into a connection with you, that it might be different from the past, right? I think this person is also in a place where they're wanting a change from old energies. And maybe this is coming through some self-examination of their past and their history and their roots and where certain patterns of behavior come from. So very interesting so far, pile number one. Let's keep going. We have a lot more cards to get into. So we're going to start with these. Let's look at your person's energy. So they have inner peace, which is kind of something you guys have in common here. They also have new love. Yes. Okay. And then for you, my viewer, we do have soulmates and reconciliation. Yes. See, it's beautiful energy of I definitely see both of you guys are wanting to kind of come back together. It's just sort of this vibe of things still being a little bit up in the air. And I think both of you guys are kind of in a place of just being a little bit cautious or being a little bit emotionally detached about the outcome right now. Kind of coming together to see if there's a spark or coming together to see how things are going to go, to see how you guys fit. I definitely see that you, my viewer, are wanting this reconciliation with this person. And I see that you're wanting a connection where, again, it feels like teamwork. It feels like someone that you can really see yourself growing and changing and evolving with over time. For some of you guys, I'm getting that maybe you and this person do have a past or a history with each other. And looking at this card here, you guys notice how there's these two little cocoons and the butterflies have emerged. And so butterflies are, what am I trying to say? They are symbolic of change and transformation. And sometimes it's a painful process to create this beautiful change in our lives. And so maybe for some of you guys, if you've been connecting with this person for a while, maybe there's been a little bit of a painful history between the both of you that you feel you want to kind of try to transform and grow from. But I still think for you guys, if this almost feels for some of you like it's someone you've known for a while, but maybe you haven't explored deeper with this person yet. Whereas for others of you, it feels new, like a new energy. But there's definitely something here where you, my viewer, are desiring someone that you can really have compatibility with for the long term, that you can really grow and change and evolve with over time, versus someone that you're growing and changing, but maybe they're staying the same. You know what I mean? Which is why you're in this energy of kind of taking it a little slower. Now, your person also, we have new love here. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So I definitely see this person has some form of feelings for you. I also think that this is symbolic of new beginnings. So if this is a person that you've known in the past, it's almost giving like the energy of you've been friends with this person and now like you're coming together again. And there's sort of this undertone of like, could we explore love and romance, or is this going to be just friends, right? Like the vibe I get from this new love card is like new cycle, new beginnings, but with someone that I'm kind of familiar with already, you know? So this person is kind of looking at this connection from the perspective that like, this is a new beginning. This is a potential new love for me. Is it going to be different than how we experienced each other in the past, or is it going to be different from what I've experienced in the past is sort of what they're questioning here. And I think they may struggle when you guys are connecting with them to fully open up. There's definitely this kind of defensive energy with the warrior spirit that I'm getting, or just this energy of like a fear of being vulnerable, having the guard up just a little bit because they're very exposed here with the Six of Cups in reverse. But just like you, my viewer, are looking for solitude and diligence, this person is looking for the same. I feel like this person with inner peace, if they haven't already, they are going through a time period here of like really also dialing into self. And this is the card that really talks about being comfortable with just like the simple things in life, being comfortable with our own company, not necessarily needing anyone else to come in and fill us up, you know, like we're content to enjoy, you know, having lunch in the park or just doing little things that interest us. Taking a look at this card up close, you can kind of see there's like all the planets here. There's like the beach. There's like, you know, this is just kind of like symbolic of the simple pleasures and joys in life and hobbies and interests that this person has. Maybe you and this person share some common hobbies and interests, but this also is saying you are enough. I am enough. So this person, I think, is moving through a time of really learning how to love themselves. And this could be what the new love energy is talking about as well, because it really does feel that this person is unearthing some stuff from their past. And something about this connection maybe triggered this for them. But I do see them being in a space of like trying to better understand themselves and trying to understand where any like self-limiting beliefs are coming from, or any sort of like self-esteem issues may be coming from as well. And so both of you guys, I mean, I think the good news so far is that it seems like both people are genuinely wanting peace within this situation. And kind of approaching the situation from that perspective. I think your person is in a little bit more of a fear energy, just slightly. You guys are definitely coming across as being a little bit more grounded and practical here. But let's continue. Let's get a few more clarifying cards, and then we're going to move into what's next for this connection. So for pile number 1, let's look at the joining energy of this connection, please. Clarifying the joining energy of this connection between pile 1 and their person. So we do have kisses. Ooh. Clarifying their person's energy. Where do they stand with regard to this connection? We have the butterfly. Okay. And then clarifying you, my viewer. Where do they currently stand within this connection? We have I like you. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm smiling. You guys have a lot of mirroring energy here. You guys have this butterfly energy of change and transformation. So does your person. So it really does feel that energetically you and this person are mostly aligned because you're kind of in similar vibes right now, going through similar things and potentially even desiring similar outcomes for this connection. You know, I think it's just going to be about when you guys do come together, just kind of seeing how you feel, like seeing how the vibe is and seeing like what direction you guys want to take things ultimately. But, you know, your person here, we have the butterfly. They're also working on going through a deep transformation here. And you notice how this says healing the inner child. There's definitely something about this connection that is pushing this person to like examine their roots and examine their inner child, examine their upbringing and how this has affected their ability to show up in romantic relationships or even this relationship. But I definitely feel this person is desiring for this connection to evolve, just like you guys are desiring this connection to evolve here. You guys are showing up here as I like you. So again, it's very practical energy. I don't see you being all like, out of control with your feelings. This is very controlled. I think you guys are curious about this person. I think you like this person. We have romances blooming. So it's kind of like, just stepping our toes into a new experience because we're genuinely curious about someone and we genuinely like someone and just kind of want to connect with them to see how things go. But I definitely see that both people within this connection are desiring love. This Kisses card is talking about falling in love, unconditional love, giving and receiving affection. You know what I mean? So there is care here. There is affection here. There is physical attraction here for sure. And I definitely see that both people are kind of on the same page in terms of wanting to explore where things may be headed. So on a romantic level. So let's look and see pile number 1. I want to look to see kind of like where the energy of this connection is headed coming into the near future. So like near future, this is a timeless reading, so there's no time limit on it. We're just going to take a look to see based off today's energy, where might this be headed? And granted, this can change depending on, choices and decisions that either of you make, but this will just kind of show us as of right now. So joining energy of this connection for pile 1. Where is this connection headed for pile 1? Joining energy. We have surrender. Let's look at your person's energy. Where is this connection headed? Where is their energy headed? We have ex-lover. Yes, they're getting over an ex, guys. Okay, and clarifying your energy, my viewer. Where is this connection headed? We have travel. Very cool. Okay, so where this connection is headed, I don't know if I see yet a ton of movement. I see movement on your end of things, pile 1, with travel. So you might actually be going to travel to this person to see them. I also think that this is just kind of talking about you guys doing your own thing and doing the things that you ultimately enjoy with yourself. But I feel like maybe for some of you guys, in order to reconcile this with this person, it may require you to actually physically go to them in a more like long-term way. Like maybe it takes like a little bit of a drive or a flight or something like that if you actually wanted to physically see them in person. Because that's coming up, that wouldn't be coming up if it wasn't significant to this connection. But ultimately, I think that where this is headed just within the next few months, as I see it now, is both people are just sort of like not forcing the situation, right? I think your person is still healing. This could be where these unearthed roots are coming from with the ex-lover here. I think that this person is definitely wanting to get away from an ex. I think that they are healing from an ex, getting over a connection that went sour. And I think that this person is still sort of fleshing out this energy from their life. And again, they're evolving and changing with doing their own inner work here. They are seeing you as an opportunity for new love. They are desiring for this connection to kind of evolve to the next phases here. But this is showing up for a reason because this energy is still a bit lingering in their life. It doesn't necessarily mean that this person is still there, but I feel like your person is trying to heal and move on from an old situation. And so both people here are in this energy of surrender, just kind of enjoying the moment with self, enjoying being at peace with self, and really not trying to force anything to happen within this connection before it's ready. So it's actually a very empowered place that I see both of you in, even though I'm not necessarily seeing decisive action toward each other, with the exception of maybe you, my viewer, traveling to this person. Like, it just kind of seems like even if you guys were to hang out, it would be just to enjoy each other and not force any type of outcome. It's more of this exploration energy of the Two of Wands coming together to see how it might happen, or like what spark could potentially be there, but not worrying about the outcome, So closing us out, pile 1, I want to just take a look to see what advice you need to be aware of, or what else you may need to know about this connection as we move out of your reading. So what advice do we have for pile 1? We have put away the computer. Working less will help strengthen your relationship. So there may be a need for you, my viewer, to make a little bit more time for this connection if it's something that you're wanting. It's interesting because remember at the beginning I was getting this vibe that you guys might be coworkers or know each other from work. So it may be an energy of needing to kind of like step away from the work part of your relationship and focus on more of the emotional part of your relationship. But either way, if this person is not a coworker of yours, I still see that there's an opportunity here for both of you guys to maybe prioritize this connection a little bit more. Make that effort to actually connect and see where things might go. Because it's giving me the energy that like maybe you guys are so much in surrender mode as it pertains to this connection that there's no real decisive effort coming in, you know? So maybe for you, my viewer, it might be, I mean, do what you think is best for you, but it might be worth like sending this person a message and be like, hey, how are you? Do you want to connect? Just like kind of putting yourself out there to see if they want to hang out, you know? Because otherwise, you know, it may not, if nobody's going to step up and take action, it's just going to kind of remain in this state. Does that make sense? Let me just pull, I feel like I just want to get one more for pile one. Support. Lean on your inner circle during this time. Yeah, I think just continuing, you know, showing up as that support system for one another, but also I think this is giving a healthy message of continued detachment here, you know, like continue to have fun with your own life, continue to hang out with your friends, continue to be in surrender mode, right? And do the things and spend time with the people who you love. And, you know, it's almost like it's weird, pile number one, because it's like, I feel like your advice is sort of about continuing to stay detached about this situation, but it's also kind of guiding you to like, just put a little teaspoon of effort into it. You know what I mean? I hope this makes sense for you. But yeah, I think we're going to just go ahead and end the message here. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please drop me a comment down below. Let me know like your situation with this person and what aspects you feel kind of resonated with you. Thank you guys so much for watching today's reading, and I will connect with you in another one really soon. Bye. Hey, pile two, if you guys picked out this green moonstone, this is going to be your reading. So what we're looking at today is the energy between you and your person, just to get you guys a better sense of kind of like the overall dynamics at play in your connection and what's to come potentially. So I'm going to begin with shuffling some tarot and oracle cards. We're going to start with this color Mage oracle because I just kind of want to see overall energies of this connection. Starting off with the joining energy between the both of you. And then we're going to take a look at your person on the left and you, my viewer, on the right. Always keeping in mind, guys, with these more general readings that sometimes you may find that the energies are flipped and you identify more with the other side. Your person's more your side. So just take it however it's resonating with your situation. So starting with the joining energy for pile two's connection. We have Imperial. Let's get your person's energy. Whoop, hold on. Let's get your person's energy on the left. So we have white flying out of the deck. And let's get you, my viewer. We have Paradise. Okay. Interesting vibes. Well, I definitely feel with Imperial coming up here that like, when I think of sovereignty and I think of Imperial, like the energy of this with purple, like this is like royalty energy. And so I don't know if there's like this energy between the both of you of like referring to each other as king and queen or something like that. But I feel like this energy of sovereignty is really talking about wanting to make sure that you each are having the ability to make your own sovereign, independent choices and decisions with regard to yourselves and with regard to the connection. So there may be a focus right now on trying to strive for a little bit more independence within this relationship. not necessarily meaning, I mean, everyone's relationship status coming into this will probably be different. There may be some of you guys that are in separation, others of you that are still together or connecting in some way. But it is healthy to kind of have a dynamic of like having some detachment from your partner, having your own life and your own hobbies and friends and interests, because it's kind of what makes you like it makes you that well-rounded individual coming in to share a life with someone, right? So I feel like there is this focus here on like independence and making sovereign choices for self. Your person is showing up here with white. This is talking about light energy. So there's definitely something for this person right now with regard to this connection that is like, they're trying to find the truth. They're trying to find answers. They want light. They want clarity shed on something. So I'm definitely curious to kind of get into these cards and see what it is that they may be wanting to shed light on here. But you, my viewer, you guys have paradise, heaven on earth. So it's interesting here because the sovereignty card is very much giving me like independent vibes, independent energy. So you and this person may not be together right now necessarily. But I feel like for you guys, there's this effort to just enjoy your life with paradise being here, Heaven on earth. This is like, for some of you, you may feel like being with this person is like being in paradise. It may be very like intoxicating for you. It may feel really, you may feel really lost in this person in a very like fun way, but it would make sense if that's the case why we have this message of sovereignty coming up for both of you, of needing to sort of separate from the connection and have an identity outside of the connection for yourself. But for others of you, I feel like this is a vibe of just kind of enjoying your life, like maybe external to this connection and creating the life that you dream of and the life that you ultimately desire for yourself, regardless of what's happening with this person. So let's continue here with the tarot. So I want to look at the joining energy of this connection for pile number 2. Clarifying this energy of sovereignty first. So we have a Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Clarifying this white energy for pile 2's person. Where do they stand energetically with this connection? We have a 6 of Pentacles. And then clarifying you, my viewer, with Paradise. Where does my viewer stand within this connection at this time? We have the Star card in reverse. Okay. Definitely is adding a little bit of additional context here for us. So I think the reason that sovereignty is being highlighted here with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse is because there's this energy of this connection maybe not moving forward as fast as we would like, or maybe there's this vibe of feeling like the timing for things isn't really right at this time. For some of you guys, maybe there's been a little setback in this connection, or it's just been kind of feeling difficult. Like things aren't necessarily flowing super easily right now, or there's just not a lot of progress. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse can sometimes talk about like being down on our luck, or just like obstacles, circumstances being thrown onto our path that we didn't necessarily expect. Okay. It definitely feels like there's a slowness in progress with this situation right now. And I see for you, my viewer, like I feel that you guys are really wanting something that is going to, I feel like you're desiring for this to progress, but like with the Star card in reverse, I feel like you guys are maybe potentially starting to lose hope about this situation, or at the very least are coming down from this heaven on earth, this sort of like head in the clouds energy about things. And there's like this energy of really kind of seeing things very bluntly and realistically now. And maybe like whatever has happened with this connection, it's kind of pushed you to take a look at the way the dynamics were playing out in the situation and your attachment to the situation in a very, maybe it felt harsh, but it definitely feels like there's a need or a push, something that's happened between the both of you that's pushed you into being like single, or pushed you into looking at things from a more independent lens. coming into the situation with a much more sovereign, independent energy and looking at things from a much more realistic perspective. It almost feels for you, my viewer, that there's like been an coming off of cloud nine kind of energy from this situation, or there's been this vibe of like, maybe you used to fantasize about this person a lot and now it's like the grounded reality of things is kind of sinking in here. But I definitely feel that your person with this white energy and the Six of Pentacles, I think that they are also showing up in this sovereign energy because maybe they've come to this realization here. The light has been shed for them on the amount of effort that they're really willing to put into the situation. You know, there's something for them about effort and energy that's being highlighted here. And I think for some of you guys, this person, they may only be able to give you like only so much time and attention because they're also focused on their own sovereign independence right now. A lot of times with the Six of Pentacles, this talks a little bit about breadcrumbing in relationships at times because, you know, it's like this person is kind of just rationing out the resources to these people that are kind of, you know, it's like you have someone here in a position of power who's wealthy and has all this time and abundance and resources. And then these two people that are here in poverty kind of asking for more, begging in some instances, right? And so it's like, even though he's being really kind and like giving out the money to them, look at all this money he actually has. And he's just like rationing a little bit. So it's like this person may be very measured in the type of energy and effort that they're wanting to put into this situation, or maybe it comes across like they're just kind of giving you little crumbs of attention here and there. But I feel like this is coming from a place of this person like maybe just not wanting or having the time to dedicate more resources. I also feel like this person, if they are more self-aware, they may realize that what they're giving to you is going to be perceived in a certain way, right? So like if they were to give you their whole bag, they're going to know that that's going to come along with a need to continue to maintain that energy, right? If they're going to show up and really show you how much they like you and put in all this effort and energy, they know that ultimately that's going to result in an expectation for a relationship, right? And so this person may be breadcrumbing and just doing so much because they know that they're not really ready for that. And again, it's coming down to this energy of wanting to be more independent in life. So let's take a look, pile two, at your pre-shuffled oracles. So starting off with your person's energy, we have abundance and we have very soon. With your energy, we have spiritual maturity and we have retreat. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so let's start back over with your person. This person is definitely focused on something about resources here. Look at all of this in this picture, this picture of abundance here. It's very like focused on shiny things, money, finances, jewels. It's beautiful, right? So this person, just from like a more 3D perspective, they may be more focused on like their work, their career, their financial situation and things like that, other priorities, which is sometimes why we get this breadcrumbing energy, right? Where it's like, you know, they're focusing on other things so they can only dedicate so much to us. But I feel like this person is a little indecisive right now around where they want to go with this situation and what they want to do, which is again playing into the reason why they are breadcrumbing a little bit here or only giving so much of their time and effort. This person with white, this light energy coming up, it's like they're needing this moment of reflection. They need to decide what they want clearly so that it comes to you now, right? So this person is still in a place where I don't think that they fully know yet what it is that they want from this situation. This is a moment of reflection for them where they're really needing to shine the light onto the situation and look at it, expose it for what it is, right? Reflect and try to gain that insight and clarity before they move forward. And they may not be totally clear yet about what they want. Again, this person is very much focused on this energy of abundance. So I think that your person may just also be going back to this independence energy of Imperial here. Like this person is also dedicating time and energy into their own abundance in life and what that really means to them. This person, I feel, is wanting to create an abundant and prosperous world for themselves. And so it definitely feels that this person is indecisive because they just have other things that are priority to them, other things that feel important to them right now. And it's playing into this factor of not knowing what direction they want to take this relationship. It just feels like kind of like someone that doesn't know yet if they have the space for a relationship. Now, you guys are in this beautiful energy of spiritual maturity and retreat. And so I feel like there's this energy of like you guys really looking at this situation from a spiritual perspective, from the higher perspective. I feel like you guys really desire a partner that's going to be walking this path with you in life. Spiritual maturity kind of talks about understanding the bigger picture of the situation, understanding the spiritual lessons that you're learning from the situation. It also talks about understanding that like there are different ways of doing things in life and that your partner may have a different set of priorities. They may have different perspectives on certain things, on certain beliefs. And it's about being able to still appreciate, understand, and have compassion for those differences, right? So that you can still coexist with someone even if you're not on the same page with every little thing, right? It's about understanding and appreciating one another's differences. But I definitely think that you all have taken some sort of distance, energetic distance from this person because there is this vibe that I'm getting of you guys really wanting to understand it from a higher perspective. And with this retreat energy coming up, I definitely feel like for some of you guys, this is talking about wanting to retreat with this person, like wanting more alone time with them, wanting this heaven on earth, this vacation, this paradise, this disconnection with this person. Just the two of you having more time together. It's like this yearning energy that I'm picking up on for some of you. But for others of you, I feel like this retreat energy is more about you retreating from this situation to do your self-reflection and try to understand it a little bit better. I think what's interesting, like looking at the dynamics at play here, pile 2, is that both of you guys are sort of trying to figure it out. Like both of you are on the same page in terms of trying to understand this situation. I feel like the difference is that your person is still trying to figure out themselves and what they want just for themselves in general when it comes to relationships. You, I think, I feel like you guys already know what you want for yourself when it comes to a relationship, right? You're just trying to understand this situation from a higher perspective here. So let's continue. We're going to do a few more oracles, and then after this deck, we're going to look to see where the connection may be headed. So getting some clarification here. Let's look at the joining energy for pile 2's connection. We do have sunglasses. Clarifying your person's energy. Ooh, oh crap, hold on. Too many, you guys. Well, healthy choices just popped out, so maybe that could have something to do with your person's energy, but let's see. Okay, so we have Cupid's arrow actually falling out, okay, and then let's get your energy for pile number 2. Where does my viewer currently stand energetically with this connection? We have not today, yeah. We do have the karmic relationship card coming up at the bottom, so there's definitely a lesson that's being learned for you from this connection, for sure, which we always love, right? Your person, I think, sees that this connection has the potential to meet their romantic needs. Like, I definitely feel that this person sees that they could shoot their shot in this direction and that it could be successful. But the Cupid's arrow also comes with a message of hesitation. It comes with this energy of not being certain because you're pulling the arrow back and you're deciding, you're having a moment of making a choice of where you're going to aim and shoot it, right? So I think that this Cupid's arrow is talking about like, yeah, they definitely feel that there's the potential for the situation to like, you know, go the distance, but they're still hesitant because they don't know what they want yet from it. This person may also be the type of person that is kind of disorganized in like when you hear from them. Like it says surprise invitation or meeting. So I feel like maybe this person comes in when you're not really expecting it and you guys connect, but then like they don't stay for a long time. Like they just kind of go ghost and then they pop back in again when you're not expecting it. Like that's the kind of vibe I get from that. And I think with the sunglasses, there is this vibe of both of you guys kind of still maybe slightly keeping an eye on one another from a distance, but this also talks about focusing out of things, right? So I think that for some of you guys, there may still be a lingering energy of you guys watching each other's social medias, watching and keeping tabs from a distance, but ultimately like energetically beginning to phase out of this situation, disconnect a little bit from the situation, and again, focus on your sovereign, independent energy for the both of you. And you, my viewer, are definitely showing up in this place of like not really being ready to deal with this person. Like I said, it feels with the star card reverse that this person maybe kind of pulled the rug out from under you, or there was something that happened that really had you snap into a major sort of like reality check about this situation. And there may still be some hurt feelings or like just not wanting to deal with this person, just kind of setting better boundaries around them. I think especially if they do sort of come in and out of your life, I could understand why you would want to set a boundary and why you wouldn't necessarily want to invest a ton of effort and energy into this person because they're, again, very stingy kind of with what they put in. But just know, you guys, like if you came to this reading trying to better understand the situation, the reason why they're doing it is because they just don't know yet what they want. You know, their energy is scattered because they're still, I think, building for themselves, trying to get their situation straight. And, you know, a lot of times if people don't have their own stuff together, they are going to show up kind of misguided in a connection or not know what to do with a connection because they don't know what they're doing with themselves. You know what I mean? So like, if they can't plan for self, then they're not going to be able to plan for another person, a unit, you know? So let's take a look, pile 2. Let's see just kind of where this connection may be headed moving into the near future here. And granted, this can change and shift depending on the choices that are made, you know, but as the energy stands today for pile 2, where is this connection heading? Where is this connection heading for pile number 2? Ooh, we have magnetic attraction. Okay. Clarifying your person's energy. Where is this connection heading? We have legal matters and clarifying your energy. Pile number 2. Where is this connection heading? Secret crush. Okay. Interesting. I do kind of feel like you and this person are still very drawn to each other. Like there's a reason why there's still this spying energy. So even if you guys aren't really fully connecting with them all the time, this magnetic attraction is still existing, you know? But I do feel like both of you guys aren't necessarily showing up as taking like decisive action toward one another. I feel like you, my viewer, are sort of showing up here in the future as holding your feelings inside, maybe not really telling this person 100% how you feel, not really wanting to, you know, necessarily, excuse me, be vulnerable with them. Excuse me, guys, sorry. Maybe just like being a little bit more withdrawn and reserved about really putting it out there. And I understand why, because again, this person, it's like they're very measured about the effort they're putting in and they show up as very like inconsistent here. So if this person's reaching back out to you randomly one day, I think you're still going to find that attraction and chemistry is there, but it doesn't necessarily look like you're going to be fully opening up to this person right away because there's a boundary here. You guys still have your guard up a little bit. And this person may be dealing with some issues, like with legal matters coming up. This can sometimes just talk about like it's a karmic relationship where there's a lesson being learned. But with it literally saying legal matters, I'm wondering if this person is going through like a divorce or separation, or they're tying up some loose ends around like career stuff. Like there's definitely something more formal and contractual here going on with your person in the future. So let's close this out, pile number 2, just with like a quick card of advice. So for pile 2, what do they need to know about this connection? Moving forward, what guidance or advice does pile 2 need to know about this connection as they move forward? We have awakening. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation with friendship. This friendship is leading to more. So I feel like there's a message here. If you guys are going to continue to connect with this person, focus on the friendship, right? Focus on the foundation of this connection and treating it a little bit more like a friendship. There is that chemistry here. There is that attraction. But I think for you, my viewer, you guys want something that's more foundational, it looks like to me, based off these cards. And so you got to start off with that solid foundation of trust just as a friend here. And with awakening, this is a spiritual connection. It's spiritual in nature. It makes a lot of sense with a lot of the cards that came up, especially the karmic relationship and the purple energy of the sovereign card that came up, right? This is a spiritual connection, and it is pushing both of you, I feel, into a spiritual transformation. I kind of feel like you guys are already there. I think your person is still getting there, but with that white energy of them trying to find answers, they're getting there. But I think both of you guys are in a place where this connection is pushing each of you to try to understand yourselves on a deeper level, to make any necessary changes, and adjustments to self on a deeper level. With that sovereignty card coming up as the joining energy, it's like you guys are both showing up here to maybe push each other to be better versions of self. And that doesn't always mean that this is going to be the person that we become connected with forever. After we've done the work, oftentimes after you have this awakening, the two of you will split apart, and it helps you to level up for the next person who's actually a better fit for you, right? So very interesting energy, pile 2. I would really love to hear from you in the comments what's been going on with this person. So let me know down below. Let me know what aspects of the reading you felt aligned with your situation. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I'm uploading new content, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you guys picked out the Rider-Waite Tarot with this Amazonite crystal, this is going to be your reading. And we are looking today at you and your person and getting a better sense of the dynamics that are at play in this connection. So I'm going to actually begin the reading with doing some pre-shuffled oracles. So we can just kind of take a look at the overall dynamics here. So for pile number 3, starting things off with the joining energy of the connection between them, my viewer, and their person. So what's the joining energy of this connection? Okay. Too many. Okay, joining energy, we have the chalkboard. Let's get your person's energy on the left. We have the dragon, and you, my viewer, on the right. Okay, we have Prometheus. Very powerful energy coming up here for sure. We also do have this tangerine at the bottom with anticipation and excitement. So I already kind of feel like there's this undertone of like butterflies in the stomach that you guys get from this person. I was kind of feeling that, but then I was like, no, that's probably just me. But yeah, there's definitely this vibe of like feeling excited about this person, having a lot of fun with this person, feeling really excited to hear from this person, just like all of the things. Let's take a look here at this energy. So I feel like the chalkboard energy, this is talking about, it says develop your destiny. So this is kind of talking about creation here. It's talking about like when you write on the chalkboard, you're writing something down because you're learning, right? So I feel like you and this person are probably learning a lot from each other. But I also feel like this is kind of talking about being intentional about the direction that you want to take this connection in, creating your own destiny. So taking control of the situation versus just waiting for something to happen. Your person with the dragon is showing up here in very powerful energy. This says power and legacy. So this person, they may be showing up here in an energy of really wanting to own their own power, own their own destiny. I think that when they're thinking about relationships, they're thinking about building a team together, building a legacy, right? When they're evaluating partnerships, it's about, can this person and I really go the distance, right? Are we compatible enough? And do we share the same vision? And are we aligned with what we ultimately see for our lives in the long term? I think that they're working a lot on their own destiny as well, like their own legacy. What's the legacy they themselves as an individual want to leave behind? I think that you, my viewer, when it pertains to this connection, and I don't think I said this, but sometimes these energies can be flipped too. You guys, it is a general reading, so you may resonate more with this side, but the way I'm reading it for the purposes of this reading is that this is your person and this is you. But with gifts of humanity coming up here, I feel like there's a vibe of you guys maybe being very generous with this person, maybe being very compassionate with this person. Their energy feels very powerful. Like it feels like it could be, even for some of you guys, potentially a little bit rough around the edges, but you guys sort of see the humanity in them. So it's like, even though they may have this really fiery exterior or maybe a rougher exterior, I think that you guys still see them as the human they are. And actually, for some of you guys, I almost feel like your person could be a person that's very highly sought after. They could be in a position of power. This could be somebody who is gets a lot of attention, that's in the spotlight. So people perceive them a certain way and kind of treat them a certain way because of this. But you all see them as the human, the person they really are deep down, and emphasize this. So let's take a look at the tarot cards next. We're doing the Rider-Waite Smith for you guys. Ooh. So let's see. For pile number 3. I want to see the joining energy of this connection first. Clarifying energy. Clarifying energy of this chalkboard, please. What's the joining energy of pile 3's connection? The Lovers. I feel like I knew that was going to come up. Clarifying this energy of the dragon for your person. Where does this person stand within this connection? We have the Hermit. And clarifying my viewer's energy here with Prometheus. The Four of Cups in reverse. Okay. For some of you guys, I definitely feel like this is maybe more of like a long-term connection or someone that's been in your life for a while. For others of you, because I don't know, like it just kind of feels like there's been some ups and downs in this connection that are sort of like normal for a longer term relationship or someone that you've known for a long time. Nothing's ever going to just be like smooth sailing 24/7. You know what I mean? I definitely feel with this Lovers card that there's certainly a soulmate connection here with you and this person. Like there is like a magnetic attraction here. There's this energy of you guys really being drawn together for a reason. You know, a lot of times with soulmates, like this is the type of person that's helping to teach us a lesson, helping us to grow and evolve in a really healing way. So I think that with the Lovers being here, with the chalkboard of developing your destiny, the joining energy of this connection is an energy of wanting to be connected with someone who is going to be able to create a beautiful life with each other. Whether that's together or you guys are kind of both just separately kind of thinking about these things, but we're talking about this connection. So it feels like it's pertaining to this connection. But the thing to remember about the Lovers card, you guys, is that Lovers card also talks about decisions and choices and being in alignment with others, you know? There is this vibe, I think, where both of you guys are wanting to be aligned and on the same page. But I also think that with the chalkboard coming up here, the question is, where is this ultimately going, right? Where do we want to take this connection? What do we want to create together? And how are we going to go about it? And are we both on the same page with what that's going to look like? The Lovers card talks about head over heart decisions as well, right? It's about sometimes we may love someone and we may have this beautiful, deep, meaningful connection with them, but we may have different ideas about what relationships should look like or where it's going. We may be on different pages in terms of where we want to live or fundamental things like, do we want to have children? All those types of things matter in a partnership. And so there could be an energy of both of you guys really examining the alignment piece of this connection. Yes, we feel this beautiful connection, but are we aligned with the choices and decisions we want to make as we move forward together? I feel like for you guys, my viewer, with the Four of Cups in reverse, I'm almost wondering if you've been in a period of kind of like boredom or apathy about this person, or boredom or apathy about this connection or connections in general. And maybe you've just recently like reconnected with this person, or something about this situation has re-piqued your interest again. It almost feels like the lessons of this connection might be even more meaningful to this person right now, because we have major arcana here for the joining energy, but like your person also is in a major arcana energy with the Hermit, where you guys are in a minor arcana with the Four of Cups in reverse, which doesn't necessarily mean like it's not important for you, but like usually the major arcanas talk about like more major fixed energies and lessons that we're learning, right? Whereas these energies tend to be a little more temporary and changeable. But your person is definitely in a place of deep introspection and reflection about this connection. I think that they are, again, they're thinking about the long-term future. They're thinking about their own legacy. And I think that there's this, maybe some withdrawal from this situation for them. Even if you guys are still together, you may notice this person's a little bit withdrawn, or they may spend a little bit more time alone sometimes. And it's coming from a place of them trying to understand, separate emotionally a little bit to reflect on this situation and this decision that they may need to make here, and to reflect on how to go about things in a really wise way. So let's take a look at these pre-shuffled oracles, starting with your person's energy. We have the energy of creativity here. Definitely goes back to like that fun energy that I was picking up on in the beginning. And we do have let go of control issues. That is very interesting. For you guys, we have this energy of forgiveness and worth waiting for. Okay. So I think that your person, when they're thinking about it definitely feels for you guys like this person may be somebody who's very fixed when it comes to like their goals and their ambitions and certain aspects of their personality. And I'm wondering if this is what has drawn a little bit of a wedge in this connection or caused some sort of a conflict within this relationship. This person is reflecting on themselves right now and the way that they've shown up in this situation. And again, with the Lovers, they do feel a connection with you. Like there is a connection here that both people feel on an energetic, spiritual level. I just think that both of you guys are in a period of trying to understand how you're going to move forward into the future with each other. And I think this person, with let go of control issues, the power and legacy card, it makes me feel like they've been perhaps a little bit fixed in the way that they've shown up here. Like they may have wanted things to be their way or the highway. They may have wanted to really dictate to you how things would go. And maybe you guys felt like you didn't really have a say in this situation. Like, again, I just keep feeling like this person had a very strong personality and you guys were very like forgiving and very like compassionate and understanding. But it makes me feel like you all weren't necessarily getting what you needed on an emotional level from this person because they were so fixed in what they wanted here, or maybe even a bit mistrustful of you in certain areas. But I definitely feel with creativity coming up, this is a positive sign because what this person is really reflecting and thinking about is, one, I think that they're thinking about the fun times that the two of you had together. This is like a very fun energy. Same thing here with this tangerine card that had come up at the beginning of the reading. But the creativity card is talking about having a little bit more flexibility and imagination around how you're looking at the situation, how you're showing up to the situation. And so this person right now is working on sort of releasing some of their fixed mindsets around how this relationship or relationships in general should go. And they are thinking about things from different perspectives here. Creativity is not always just about like arts and crafts. You guys could have a foundation of like a shared hobby there, but it's also about how do we breathe life into this connection in a new and different way. And it just feels like there's been some stagnant energy or some boredom or apathy here, especially from your perspective, pile 3. Especially if this person's been like really rigid and just more focused on their work and like there hasn't been a lot of fun or excitement breathed into this connection in a while. I think that they are thinking a lot about how they can show up differently or how they could potentially have done things differently or trying to open up their mind to seeing things from a new and different perspective here. Now, you, my viewer, are showing up here, I think, in a healing period as well with this person. You have forgiveness here. It says, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. So there may be an energy of you working through some self-reflection with regard to this situation and maybe reflecting on how you feel like maybe you made mistakes with this situation. It feels like there's something that happened between the two of you where maybe some of you feel guilty about how things went down here. Maybe you guys were bored with this person and broke it off. I don't know. But this also is talking about just forgiveness of this person as well. And so forgiveness is about releasing the past. It doesn't like mean that we never forget like how someone treated us. It doesn't always mean that what they did is justified. It's just forgiveness is for us. It's for the individual, right? It's so that you guys can be able to release the past of the situation and be able to move into future situations or this one with a new and fresh perspective, being really open at the heart space. Again, I'm getting a lot of this compassionate energy here from you where you're really trying to see the humanity in this person. And, there is this energy of like, both of you guys are being very future oriented right now and thinking about the future of this relationship, the future of this connection. And so there is a need for pile 3 for my viewers watching this that like, if you're still holding on to anything from the past, there is a need to release it because if you want to eventually move forward with this person, you can't go into it with, negative energy. You've got to be willing to go into it open heart, open mind, and ready to come together in a fresh new start. But I think that you guys are not in a rush. This says worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So this is an energy of really leaning back, not trying to force the situation, which your person is kind of in this as well, which is good. And understanding that like, if this person isn't ready right now, there will be somebody else there that is ready for me. Or maybe this person will come back to me later in the future when they're ready for a relationship again, But it definitely seems like the energy that the two of you guys have in common is this energy of letting go, letting go and allowing things to just happen as they will naturally happen instead of trying to control or obsess over the outcome here. There's like loud music playing outside. I was trying to hear what song it was. Okay, so for pile 3, let's take a look. Let's get a few more oracle cards, and then we're going to look to see where this connection is potentially headed coming into the future here. So clarifying energy for pile 3's connection. We have the Runner. Let's get your person's energy with this Dragon card. We have Ascending and getting your energy, my viewer, clarifying your energy. We have the Dragonfly. Very interesting energy. Well, I definitely think that both of you guys are in your own period of ascension here, in your own period of healing outside of this connection. Your person here, they're in this vibe of like ascending, like seeing it from a different perspective, seeing things from a higher perspective. You know what I mean? It really feels like this person has gone within to try to learn their lessons and really expand and understand things differently. I do still feel like this person is holding on to hope for this connection with the new phase, preparing for union being shown here. Like, I think that they're doing this reflection in the hopes that they can reemerge and return to this connection in a new energy here with you. You, my viewer, are definitely also going through a transformation here with the Dragonfly. You're moving through a period of healing here, as we mentioned with forgiveness, but I definitely see you guys taking a more lighthearted approach to things, being more adaptable to things instead of trying to control things, really accepting and leaning into surrender, things happening in divine timing when they're supposed to happen, and focusing on your own healing right now. I definitely think that both of you guys, though, still have a little bit of a fear of intimacy. There is still a little bit of fear of coming back together and being vulnerable with each other again, with the Runner card being here. This says Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to the ego. Some of you guys, maybe what caused the breakdown in this connection was more ego related. Maybe it was more about like the 3D kind of stuff. Not that that stuff doesn't matter, but maybe there was something about like finances or career. Like, I feel your person being very career oriented over here. And maybe something about that drove the two of you guys apart. But there's definitely still a little bit of lingering fear of being vulnerable with each other again, and avoidance, like an active sort of avoidance of like coming back together and talking to each other right now. Okay. Definitely feels like both parties in this connection are in their own sort of healing and detachment phase, but it feels like your person is really focused on how they could show up better to this connection. They're definitely in a very introspective place. So let's look to see, pile 3, where this connection is potentially headed moving into the near future, keeping in mind that, future is not set in stone and this can change, based off the choices and decisions you guys each make. But let's see, as the energy stands right now, where is the situation headed for pile 3? We have Truth. Okay. Clarifying your person's energy. Where is this connection headed? We have the Snake. Ooh, okay. And clarifying your energy. Where is this connection headed? Intuition. We do have breakup here at the bottom. So there could be a breakup coming up in the future, or a decision finally to separate. I still think your person is like holding on a little too much to things here with the Snake. Like the way the Snake is like wrapped up here. It's definitely this energy of being controlling or like needing to cling on to something. And what I always talk about whenever snakes come up in my readings is that like snakes are a cold-blooded animal. It's an animal that like needs, warmth from an external source to regulate its body temperature. So I think that this person is still in a little bit of a controlling energy when it comes to this connection they're working through. I think they're still in a little bit of a, maybe even a lack energy. But I also think this person is maybe potentially watching you in the shadows, maybe in a little bit of a sneaky way that you guys may not be fully aware of right now. The other thing I will say though about snakes is that even though for me, I'm not a snake person, they kind of freak me out. Like even looking at this card is like freaking me out a little bit, but like snakes are not all bad. You know, snakes can also talk about the shedding of skin. They can talk about transformations, right? And growth, because in order for them to shed the skin, it shows that they're growing. And so this person, we do have a lot of indications here that they are growing and healing and ascending. And so the snake also represents them shedding their skin. You know what I mean? I'm also getting a message about seeing things more clearly, because when a snake sheds its skin, it also sheds the skin on top of the eyeball. And when the snake is in shed, the eyeball is covered by that dead skin, and it can impair their vision. You know what I mean? Don't ask me why I know this. I know a lot about snakes apparently. So anyways, there's a lot of different meanings for this, but ultimately where I see things going, you guys, is I feel like the two of you may have a conversation, getting to the heart of the matter. You may have a conversation about your separation, or a conversation deciding to ultimately go your separate ways right now. There's definitely a truth coming in and cutting to the heart of a matter. I think that you guys are in a place, though, of really, I see you guys being in a place of really tapping into your higher self, tapping into your intuition, maybe even turning to like tarot and spirituality to better understand yourself, to better understand this connection going forward. I'm trying to look to see what cards are in here. Is that the Two of Cups reversed right here? I can't really tell. The Moon card, it looks like. It's hard for me to see, to interpret it, but like I think that if this is the Two of Cups in reverse, like it feels to me like you guys are listening to your inner voice when it comes to the situation and the lack of alignment that you may be feeling with this person. But yeah, where is it heading? It looks like there's going to be a conversation here, getting to the heart of the matter about something between the both of you. So let's close it out, pile 3, with just one more card for advice for you. So what does pile 3 need to know about this connection as they move forward? What does pile 3 need to know about this connection as they move forward? I just keep feeling with that snake card, like this person maybe had the tendency to be very suffocating, you know? And I think they're still trying to work through that. Advice for pile 3, please. And we're going to cover the snake card because it's freaking me out. Okay, so your advice is intuition. You already know the answer you seek. And that's so beautiful that it's kind of being mirrored here. You know, so deep down, you guys already know what you need to know about this connection. It's just about trusting in your own inner voice, trusting in yourself. You have self-care. Clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. So I think this is just further confirmation that the right thing for you guys to do at this time is to focus on self, like focus on your own healing, detaching from this person a little bit. Boundaries coming up at the bottom. Firm boundaries are needed now. I think that makes a lot of sense with what we're picking up on from this person's energy. It does feel like they're healing. It does feel like they're working through things, that they're doing some self-reflection, but in the future, they may still show up to you in this snake energy, right? And so there is a need for you all to really focus on protecting your energy and maybe setting some boundaries around this person if needed. So pile 3, very beautiful and interesting reading. I would love to hear from you in the comments, which aspects you feel resonate the most with you and your situation. So please drop me a comment down below. Let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you will be updated when I upload new videos. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.